Okay, so let's see. We have
Yeah,
two.
so the page two is original one. Page one is a new one.
Okay. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to go ahead and delete all of this because I just want to. Page number one is the new one, right? Okay. All right. So it's all on one page, looking good. We've got things on 11-point font in Times, looking good. We have the flow, summary, experience, education in a good order, which is great. Fantastic. And then I am going to look at this from just a metrics and numbers point of view. And I'm not seeing a lot of numbers here yet. Seeing some, which is good. Probably not as many as I would like. Going to probably challenge you to find some more. Let's go into that. So, let's talk about your professional goal. So the next thing you'd like to work on is product marketing.
Yeah, product marketing manager.
Okay, and you have some experience in that. So let's call you an experienced product marketer. And then with 3 years of experience in tech, I would say let's call this successful in assisting in supporting tech product launches, supporting consistently successful, supporting tech product launches to grow the P&L of, let's see, do you have a specific, are you focusing on tech firms?
Yeah.
Technique, okay, because I would think about that in terms of in the future what you might to grow the P&L of, like what specifically. I would use this language because the only thing that matters in business is growing the P&L, growing the profit and loss, the income statement essentially. So I would keep that language. I would get very focused on numbers and what it means to have an impact on the income statement. So let's use that more specific language, growing the P&L, so that we're providing people what they want, basically. What do companies want? They want you to be able to grow the P&L of their firm. If you're going to be talking to firms which are not technology firms, you can always edit this, change that. So this could be something else. It could be uh, whatever it is. This is the area. This is where your space to play and make edits. So if you ever want to edit the resume, limit it to editing the professional summary and not more. Now, this section here is a skills section. And I would recommend having a skills section and not collapsing that into the professional summary. So if I were to come down here and add a skills section, this is what I would recommend. Skills. As such. And then certifications, we can see if they need to be in here. Not super impactful, actually, to have certifications stated here. But if we have room, we can leave it in there. The main thing is, are these things here, if we're talking about a skills section, are these the skills that the companies actually want? So again, when you're looking at a job description or having done some networking with a firm and you know that they really care about a certain thing like this, then bring that to the front or bring A/B testing to the front. And some of these things either might not go there. Like if email marketing is not something that is desired by a firm, then I wouldn't necessarily even list it as a skill. So what do we want to emphasize? And sometimes what we emphasize is made clearer by what we don't put in there. Um, Competitive analytics, you might think about what some of those analytics have been, if you can get more specific in terms of what those packages might have been, that might be helpful. Go-to-market CD, these are somewhat general. These are also relevant, but also somewhat general. So if, again, let's just be able and willing to customize this area as necessary. And if for some reason you see in a job description that none of these things are mentioned, but some other things are mentioned, I would put those other things here. And that might be what people would consider to be aggressive. But again, all we're looking to do is demonstrate to people that we are familiar with certain things. People are going to find it really odd if you're applying to a job and the things they're asking for, you're not even willing to say that you're familiar with on the resume. They're just going to find that really weird. So unless, I mean, if there are some limits to that, but generally speaking, if anything is listed on the job description as, hey, do you have this thing? Then you want to put that thing on the resume. If only all you do is read a Wikipedia page about it, that's all you would need to do in order for it to go on your resume as a skill. Again, be careful. This is not this is not asking for expertise, and job descriptions are not necessarily asking for expertise. The only limit would be if they're asking for 5 years of C++ programming experience. It would not make sense at this time to add C++ to your skills if you have not already had some time doing some coding in C++. So there are some limits, but generally speaking, this should be always tailored to include the content from a job description. This should always be about, here in the professional summary, all about you stating in one sentence that you do what they want you to do. What they're looking for is what you already do. And so let's be on top of customizing these sections to be exactly what the job description asks for or what the company asks for. Okay, now let's see. Marketing manager, 4D SaaS technology solution. Yeah, looks good. I'm okay if you want to have the role first. Typically, we're putting the company first, but I'm happy to have the role first. That's fine. Let's see, improve product positioning and messaging by leading communications with customers and the sales team. Okay, creating, looks good, conducting competitive analysis, creating better content, including web copy, blog posts, and productive videos. Drove go-to-market strategies to increase product adoption for 3 new features. So what I would encourage you to do is work with your mentor who is offered to mentor you to get more specific about what this means and how to describe that using the metrics of product marketing. Because I'm sure that when you're talking about product marketing, it's not all just text. There's actual discussions around numbers, which demonstrate or illustrate product positioning, which demonstrate or illustrate improved messaging. So what numbers, and this is a question for you, we could talk about it, what numbers can we use to illustrate improved product positioning or messaging? How do you know or feel that these items had been improved? What evidence can we point to from your experience?
So let me see. Yeah, so I think it's more like a strategic thing. So for marketer, our job is to like write content to better define our product. So it doesn't really like related to any specific metric, but it's the core of marketing.
Okay, right. Probably a hover bee. Nope. Well, let's take a look at that. So how to quantify and what is the thing we're looking at here? product positioning.
Product positioning and messaging.
So how do you quantify product positioning? Types of product positioning.
Yeah, it's like business strategy. How can you quantify business strategy?
Right. Well, we need to find some way because otherwise we're just waving our hands in the air and we're not convincing. So how do you quantify? So is it through, what can we do to achieve, what is the, what is the way in which we might reword that? Because there has to be some way to measure it. We can't just say we improved it and then have no evidence. So how do you measure improved product positioning? Sorry, my Wi-Fi is not the strongest. I might need to move somewhere else. Let's try that again. Can you still hear me?
Yeah, I can.
Okay. Yeah, how would we quantify that?
I don't think anyone tried to quantify it.
Mm-hmm. Well, what is product positioning? What is the product here?
The ad tech SaaS.
Okay. And what is 4D ad tech SaaS solution? What is that?
It's a solution helping advertiser to get better performance on their digital advertising campaign.
Okay. And how do you measure that increase in performance?
We have like impression,
Okay.
conversion rate.
Yeah. So all of those are clearly numbers. William, I'm going to go.
Yeah, but it is what 4D can do for its clients, not what I do.
Right.
Yeah, that one. Next. The next one.
It's okay. I'm just going to just look at this one. Contextual intelligence brand suitability product. Faster and smarter market. Third-party cookie. Ensuring ads are aligned with specific content. Right. So purchase intent increased by 63%. That would be, it can do that. So this is the language that we want to use to describe potentially what we're doing. Improve the product positioning of 4D ad tech. How do we know? How do we know? How do you know that it was improved?
Or we can delete the word improve. I was just working on the.
No, I don't want to step back from this. I don't want to shy away from saying we improved it. I'm going to go inside here for a second because the Wi-Fi will be stronger inside. I don't want to shy away. I don't want this challenge to cause you to step away from saying that you improved it. But what I do want to do is understand how does this work? Because I could be interviewing you right now. I mean, what I'm asking you is not an unreasonable question if I were interviewing you, right? Right?
Yeah.
If I were interviewing you, and I said, how did you improve the product positioning? What would you say?
Yeah, I did ABC, just the sentence.
How did you know it was improved?
Because we get better sales.
And then, okay, so you get better sales. So how do you, what was the improvement in sales?
I don't have the number.
Could you get the number?
I cannot.
You have a mentor in the company, right?
Yeah, but it's so hard to quantify. So it's not only. Yeah, so those content creation is not made by myself. Also, there is no clear time cut to evaluate, like, this is like what I did, this is before, this is after, so there's a difference. There is no such thing.
Sure, why not? You worked there from February until July.
Mhm.
So, and this is a publicly listed company. So what if we were to go into their, I think we spoke about this earlier. What if we were to go into their financials?
Yeah, I think they haven't published it yet.
Okay, it's possible. Have you tried to look at their financials yet?
I did, and it was not published.
Let's see here. See if we can find 21 annual report. Let's see here. See, we have some things. We have a new contract renewal. Let's see here. So some of the things that you have achieved here. So this is in the month of May while you were there. The joint venture agreement, right. So I would explore everything. Let's see here. Let's see what they have among their financial reports in 2022. So they have an annual report, right? Fine. Let's see here. Nope, not that stuff. Let's see here.
Mhm.
Mr. Contacts. Station Silver Bullet. Okay. Yes. Not a lot of helpful information here. Um, highlights, let's see here. Okay. So the thing I would think about here is its annual. So here are some numbers here. So we're operating in a market of programmatic media, total addressable market of $365 billion. So this might be useful to us at some point. I don't know if we can leave that in at all, but that might be useful to us. Let's see here. So my screen is freezing. Hold on one second. Share
Okay.
screen again. Hello. Yes, I know they can see my screen. Hold on, it's fine. What's going on here? All right, there we go. It was not cooperating. All right. Oh. So improve product positioning. How do we know that? So what I would think about here is supported. So what has been the growth, the previous annual growth of 4D? So what has been the 4D CAGR, basically? So CAGR. No, I don't need a general. Knowing that would be useful. Knowing, having a general sense of where this, how this market is growing could be useful, but I don't necessarily, knowing something about the global ad tech market would be useful for you. Have you done any reading about that before, just the general ad tech market?
No.
Okay, so that's the market that you're operating in. And I'm not saying this link is the right thing for you, but knowing something about the global ad tech market and its growth, finding that somewhere would be a good thing to say. Because if I ask you in an interview, hey, are you familiar with the global ad tech market? You, of course, would want to say yes, and then be able to quickly respond with an example of something you know about it.
Okay.
So because you're doing ad tech, SaaS, you're doing ad tech, and 4D is the solution, right?
Mhm.
I would also read the annual report from 2021 because that is very important. So this, let's see here, financial reports. What language do they use? Let's see, interim results of 2021 will come out in September. So you're not going to get the interim results for 2022 describing, so the interim report, which will describe the performance that you had while you were there, will come out sometime in September.
Mm-hmm.
And the thing that they're going to talk about is going to look very similar to this. So we are delighted with programmatic media. So what are they, 4D product? I would be aware of this because we want to be able to talk about how we impacted growth. So if there's anything talking about 4D in here, there are 14 references to 4D. Revenue, so basically you were there during H1 of 2022, you were there. So this is the key metric. Revenue up, supporting revenue. That's what people that's what's going to matter to the people that would work for you next, that you would work for next. Is, hey, how did you support revenue? Can you tie in your activities to the growth of the company? Can you make that connection? That's going to be impressive because there are going to be so many marketing job hunters out there that have no idea how their marketing actually helped the company. But you don't have to be like that. You can know. So I would see how they described it.
Okay.
See here. Projected growth of 68%. Okay, that's very important. So you supported 68% growth, right? That is what we want to talk to. That's what we want to talk about. The digital ad market, in which 4D is embedded, now accounts for approximately 58% of total worldwide ad spend, with a projected growth of 68%. Right, so that's very, very helpful. So we're going to give you this document, and I want you, so having a resume is just basically a storehouse or a deposit, a repository of stories that you could tell. It's not something like you're going to send a resume and then people are going to understand all of your stories and how you contributed just by reading your bullet points. That's helpful. It can't happen. If a good bullet point is in there and it's well constructed, they're going to see the impact that you've had. But what we're trying to do here in this program is give you the tools so that you can talk about your experience in an interesting and compelling way. So I want you to download from the Zoom chat here. I want you to open up these two links that I just sent you.
Mhm.
And I want us to look at some of this information here. They're linking to a eMarketer. Okay, there's no link there, it looks like. So I would encourage you to look at this document and then also the annual report. So here's the annual report.
Okay.
And I'd like you to, now you don't have to read all 68 pages, but do you generally know how much this company made in 2021? How much revenue they had?
I don't know.
Okay, do you think that's important?
Okay.
Do you know what their profit margin was?
I don't.
So these are some opportunities here for you to, before you get asked those questions and say, I don't know in an interview, these are the tools that are at your fingertips for you to become very expert in the role that you just had. When people see that you are expert in a role that you just had, they're going to make some assumptions about how you will be very expert in the new role that they have for you. So this is kind of, okay, it's been successfully delivered. This is their annual report. And what do they say about 4D in this? They got 70 references to 4D. What does 4D do?
It's an advertising technology solution helping advertisers get better performance.
How does it do that?
Yeah, so whenever there's a brand want to launch a digital marketing campaign online, they can use our solution. So we can help them to optimize their keywords, target specific topics, and also use different filter to get the specific publisher,
Mhm.
place they want to put for their advertising.
Does it focus on a particular kind of media? Print or email?
No, it's just for digital advertising.
Okay.
Those, yeah, those ads run by Google Display or YouTube, things like that.
Okay. So here, their primary focus is on, here they state, online video.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not, their primary focus is not Google AdSense or it's focused on online video. So I would be very clear. I would also challenge you. I've known you for a while, and I know that your opportunity is always to get more specific in how you describe things. Increasing your preciseness, becoming more exact. That's your opportunity. So what is a contextual outcomes engine?
Yeah, so before most advertiser technology are based on cookies.
Mhm.
So they need to track different users like information so they can like do the targeting very specific. But
Yep.
nowadays cookie has been like almost gonna stop next year because
Right.
Google has released new policy. So we're bringing up a new solution to solve this problem is by doing contextual targeting. So
Okay.
basically for people, for example, browsing a website about like sports, then we can like analyze that context and then deliver those like sport related advertising for that web page.
I would encourage you to read through this very closely and start to use their language
Mhm.
in the way you describe where does 4D sit within this ecosystem.
Okay.
Because right now your answers appear not as specific as I think they could be. They're good, but I would encourage you to be very, very on top of this because it just comes out in the resume. When I read your resume, I can see that there is some very general reference to things, but it's not where it needs to be. I don't think, I mean, I think if you want to jump into a top firm, we just need to be more refined in our message.
Okay.
Let's focus on, talk about product placement, but let's talk about what is the purpose of, what is the purpose of product placement? It's to sell stuff, right? To make
Sorry, what's the question?
Oh, the purpose of product placement. What's the purpose of improving product placement?
What do you mean product placement?
I mean, improved product positioning.
Oh,
When I
okay.
talk about product positioning, what's the purpose of improving product positioning?
To make our product become more popular in the market.
And what will that do to sales?
Generate better sales performance.
Absolutely. So let's be more specific. And where we have numbers. So it's supported 68% projected growth of 4D. What's the name of the term? 4D contextual what?
Outcome engine.
Leading communications with customers and the sales team. So when I said in the training, we don't use a or the or anything like that. So make sure we remove that. Customers and sales team. Let's see, by leading communications with co-sales analysis of creating better content. Right, great, looks good. Yeah, I'm not sure I'd keep that in there. This is good, but again, these are getting kind of long. So I'm trying to think. That could be examples that you provide later, potentially. I'm going to just remove that for now.
Okay.
Let's see, sales enablement content. Marketing. So if you boosted engagement rate, isn't that mainly the results right here?
Yeah, it's result.
So what do we do with results?
Yeah, but it's the result of creating marketing plan. It's not the result for drive go-to-market strategy.
What's the purpose of the go-to-market strategy? To increase product adoption, right?
Yes.
How do you know that the product adoption was occurring?
Yeah, so product adoption, there are some metrics, but the truth is we don't use any metrics. So I'm not sure, should I just add a metric there?
Well, I mean, what I would say is, since you have not read, I mean, have you read the financial statements yet?
No, not yet.
Okay, so before you say that the firm doesn't use metrics or you're not sure, would you be so kind as to read through this?
Okay.
Because these people are very focused on numbers, and I'd like you to be also focused on the numbers.
Okay.
Okay? I'd like you to have a presentation which is not how you define it and how you want it. I mean, I understand you have to start somewhere, but I wouldn't stop here. I would read what the company actually says in their financial statements and adopt that language in the way you talk about your experience. So drove go-to-market strategies to increase product adoption for 3 new features by creating sales enablement content, training sessions. Again, this is probably too much text, and creating marketing plans. All right, probably too much. And then the engagement rate, boosted engagement rate by 40%. So I'm going to leave it there. Contributed to product roadmap by participating with, by partnering with product team. Okay. Why is it doing that? That's really weird. I might actually bring this up here. Something like that. And then I don't know if we need that much space here, but we need some space. And then engagement rate, the engagement rate with what? Engagement with what?
Social media.
Okay. Are we using periods here? No, we're not using periods. Okay, cool. Product marketing specialist. Sticker. Yeah, I don't know if you need this thing here. I mean, that's technically true if they ask you. That's the old sticker, but I'm not sure you have to have that there. Because if people just see you're a product marketing specialist, that's more understandable. They can ask you questions about that. But if they see this, they may, I mean, it's just a little bit of extra information that I don't even, I mean, okay. But I'm not sure that necessarily helps you.
Right.
So let's go into here, printing core, brand value proposition and marketing positioning by connecting market research, customer interview. Okay, that's what you did. Okay, I mean, the conversions for 80 plus e-commerce products, I think that's part of, this is your result. And what you did here also supported that result, right?
Yes. So it's kind of different. So I help them to start the brand from scratch. So the first thing is we need to figure out what to sell and how to sell. So that's the first bullet point. And after we decide that, we launch different products
and I was a person to work on the listings and copy things like that.
And what to sell and how to sell, the result of that became these 80 e-commerce products, right?
Yeah, we have like revenue or like order.
Yeah.
amount.
So, right. So this part here supported your eventually being able to have these products, correct? All
Yes.
right. So I would say that this is the main result here. Now, you might state it like that. And then who's bringing it back? Looks good. I mean, I think I'd prefer to say it like that. This is the supporting work that you did in addition to these things, right? These are things that also supported driving conversion. So it started from the beginning. So so you went from zero to how much in sales? Like, could you talk about the income that was generated here, the sales that were generated, or the growth?
So because it's a small business, so this, let me check it right now. So so the sales amount is low. It's not impressive. It might be only like 10,000.
Right.
Yeah, and the other amount in total when I leave, so it's like 4,000 sales.
Right.
So
So
it's not
sales.
really impressive. I don't know whether I should leave it there.
Well, what percentage did you drive? When did it begin at 0?
Yeah, from 0.
I see. That's where I'm at with this at the moment. I might come back to that in a second. Mini table. Didn't we have? Is this the language that we had before when I revised it last time?
No, it's not, because I redefined the role and the title and everything.
Okay. But what about the results? What about the results that you got last time? I thought we had talked about results last time. Let me see here. I don't like to lose content or information if we don't have to. Let's see. Let's see here. So these were the bullet points that we had last time. I don't think we've so here we had talked about adjusting it like this way. I don't know what you finally did, but could you consider going back to the final version of the prior resume we worked on a year ago or so and looking at that?
We could, but I would prefer to tell it in the marketing way.
That's fine, but the marketing is still, the purpose of marketing is to achieve, achieve reducing marketing expense. Did that happen?
I have no idea. I don't think it happened. We,
Okay.
yeah, so it's a startup and we don't track anything. I have no idea about metric.
Well, you can, I mean, that's true. It can be really difficult in an environment where nothing is being tracked, but you do have the capacity and intelligence and power to track things and pay attention to those things. So if you think that you increased satisfaction or, if we had anything, because your tendency is to remove any reference to numbers, which is a little bit confusing to me because you have a background in finance and analytics. So I'm not exactly sure why we struggle to bring some numbers into this discussion.
I think I just try to make that role seem less like a sales role.
Fine. But we can still talk about growth and improvements instead of trying to to smash a template onto it and then remove any of the color, the local flavor of it. Improve product positioning here. That's what we had up here above. Improve product positioning and messaging by, because I mean, the other thing that I would say here is that do we really want to go in this direction of changing it from being a sales role into something that it wasn't? Because you were not the product consultant or marketing specialist, as far as I remember. So it was a B2B SaaS solution, but to my knowledge, I would much prefer you do something and be accurate in your presentation of it, because I don't think it helps you necessarily to try to tell a story if it wasn't. I mean, I think you probably did all of these things, but do you ever talk to this person anymore at Minitable Tech?
Yeah, I have a supervisor there.
Right. Do you still talk to that person?
Not really.
Okay. Like, would they be surprised if someone did the background check and you were telling them that you were the product consultant?
I can give him a hands up. He will help me.
Yeah, I would do that. I would reach out. So the part of doing a resume review, because we don't want to be, we want to be able to tell a really good story that is supported by the reality. And so maybe you were just marketing specialist at the time, and then you became a product marketing specialist, or maybe you want to say that you were a product consultant. And
I do have a title as product consultant. It's another way to say business development manager.
Yeah, I mean, this is a bit, and then to say that you're this and that, that's a bit, we don't usually see that in business. You're doing two things. Either you're a marketing specialist or you're a product consultant, but I don't know that it helps you to have both of those. So I would think a little bit about whether we really need to have all of this here.
Yeah, but at the same time, it does happen that for many startups, many people just take multiple hats.
True. Again, are you trying to work in another startup?
I'm not sure yet.
You're not sure, okay. Yeah, all right. Minitable Tech. So I know I'm asking you some tough questions, and I don't mean to sound like I'm being like really harsh. I hope you understand that.
Mm-hmm.
Customer interview. How many customer interviews?
Yeah, whenever I talk with customer, it's a customer interview.
So there was one interview or multiple?
Multiple, a lot.
So let's make it a customer interviews.
Okay.
Just one?
Yeah. Pretty dirty. You guys sit on it, so watch. The boys, when you do this,
We have to move here in a second. Let's move back outside. Move back outside, William. Sorry, Mia, gotta move. Back
No problem.
outside. Yeah, so I would just, give that person a heads up and then improve product positioning and messaging by conducting customer interviews. All right. Did you help this company grow at all? Did they grow at all while you were there?
Yeah, it was growing.
Do you have a number that you could share or estimate? Like if you had to just kind of guess and think about, oh, they had about 100 customers when I started and about 150 when I left. Do you think we could do that kind of a simple mathematics?
Yes, we can.
So, what would be the result here of this activity, right? This is all the activity,
Mhm.
right? There's no result here. I mean, the result is improved product positioning, but what does that mean? Again, I'm coming back here to challenge you a little bit. What does that mean? And what is the purpose of product positioning? And what is the connection between marketing and the rest of a business? Do we want to, in how we present ourselves to a company for our next job, do we only want to talk about the activity within the marketing context, or do we want to try to talk about the impact of marketing on the business that we were serving?
Yeah, we can talk about impact, but I don't know what's the right way to talk about it.
Right. Okay. Well, I think one way is to talk about the growth, and I mean, we'd kind of try to approach that here. A couple years ago when we worked on this. So what, remember we kind of, I really challenged you to move in this direction of talking about a SaaS solution. I think that was something that I had proposed back then. I think at the time you were talking about helping restaurants develop an app, right? That was the language that you were using at the time. And I proposed that we move into this direction of AI-powered e-commerce SaaS solution, which I think is probably more aligned with where you wanted to go at the time. And here I'm making an effort to think creatively about what are some ways that we had impact, right? Reduced marketing expense to raise satisfaction, grew client base. So I would like to encourage you to go into Mini-Table Tech and really think about that and go back to, and if you don't like what I did with you last time, that's fine. But I would encourage you to not shy away from talking about the impact of what you did in terms of the business. So if you helped grow grew customer base, whatever percent, right? By improved product positioning and messaging. And then this is a new sentence, conducted. So all of you conducted customer interviews to discover pain points, crafted product content. I'd like you to use this language instead of the ing type of structure that you have in a lot of your bullet points. The crafting, make it a little bit more specific, like a little bit shorter, more with an action verb, crafted instead of crafting. Crafted product content copy, including web copy, brochure, and sales pitch to better deliver product value. And then to better deliver product value, I think we just remove that, okay? Because of course that was part of the goal. Supported product team on product strategy. So again, we don't want to use the same word too many times either. Supported product team on strategy by prioritizing product features and managing project progress. Okay. Hopefully you have a story you can tell about how you did that.
Okay.
Supported the product team on strategy. Do you have an example of what does that mean?
Yes, so whenever we meet customers and know about their feedback or any new feature they want us to develop, I would bring it back to the product team so we can get together to see whether it works to develop and prioritize.
Okay. And did you add some new features?
Yeah.
How many?
Um,
With 34.
Okay, so identified. Added three features. I'm not sure three, we call this product solutions. Added three features. Not exactly sure what we want to say there. Identified and added three. Supported product team to add three new functionalities, three new functions by collecting market feedback and prioritizing product feature and prioritizing features managed. And there, you said there was an agile process there?
not for this company.
Managed product progress, and then reported to CEO and founder, for example. Yeah. And then I think we don't need that third bullet point there. It's kind of the same thing. Right. Remove that. And then I think, and then we had talked about Okay, we have some slightly different bullet points from the past relating to your PwC, the IQVIA. Similar. Yeah, I think it's looking pretty good. Has this been helpful so far?
Yeah, it's helpful. Thank you. Also, it's like 4 full-time job and 1 internship. Do you think that looks too much or is standard?
Oh. Let's see, which are that's fine. I mean, you graduated not too long ago, so it's okay. Although you have removed all of the reference to, let's see, the IQVIA 17. I mean, you might think about, if you had to choose from your China experience, you might consider putting the PwC experience on there, because that's, to my, I think,
But it's not marketing.
well, that's okay. People have different experiences in their life, and because you had a internship in audit doesn't discount you from becoming a marketer. It just means you understand numbers better than most people. I don't think that takes away from that. Business analyst intern, market research analyst intern, marketing research analyst intern. I mean, that's, I don't think you need to, your experience in the past was not exactly marketing, so much so that you need.
The title is market research intern.
Okay. I mean, what we had before was something different.
Right.
Who is business analyst intern. So I'm just saying, whatever helps you tell your story more convincingly and that you have confidence in telling the story. If you want to change that title to something else, you can. The only concern I would have is, can you be confident in putting down that you're a marketing research analyst intern and not business analyst intern? Where do you feel more confident in presenting your experience? Because confidence is not something that we can easily fake. I would definitely encourage you to be using the language in the resume where you feel the most confident talking about your experience.
Okay.
So if it's marketing research analyst intern, okay. I would also just mention that people will potentially do background checks. So if you can make sure that whatever final title you use, it's going to be supported by somebody conducting a background check, that would help you.
Okay.
I have had students not be able to pass background checks and not get offers as a result.
Okay.
Something to just keep in mind. Awesome. Well, I think you've done a good job here. I would encourage you to go one level deeper in your understanding of at least the most recent work experience. You've done a great job moving from a startup here at the Cloud Printing Corp to Silver Bullet, because now you've got listed company, public company experience on your resume. I think you've made a nice shift there.
Mhm.
But I would take advantage of it. Not just by having it on your resume, but then really going into the content of their annual report and really digging into what it is they do so that the way you talk about it can reflect this same level of sophistication.
Okay. That makes sense. Thank you.
Yeah, no problem. Well, I think, is this good for now? Do you want to
Yes.
work on another version and send it to me when you're done, or what would you like to do? What would be
Sure, I can work on that.
Yeah, I mean, I think we've done some of the, there's not a lot that we changed here. I mean, kind of getting comfortable with this language in the professional summary, getting comfortable thinking about 4D and the results that it seeks to drive.
Mhm.
Are probably the things. Looks like I might have introduced a spelling error here, leading by accident. So you might want to just go back and check this out. Leading led cross-functional communication. Good. Well, I think you've really done well in your time here in the United States. I think you really have advanced your level of professionalism, had some good experiences. So I'm very proud of what you've done.
Thank you.
Yeah. So let me just save this as, oops, a new file, and I will email it to you.
Great, thank you.
Yeah, no problem. Sorry I was late today. Awesome. Have a really good afternoon. Loved doing this with you. Thank you for the chance.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Yeah. And I'll also send you the link to this video.
Awesome. Appreciate it.
Yeah. See you later.